Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Trunkhead with Trunkhead Gaming. Today is the very first inaugural game of my new REL team. They are called Trunkywood. Trunkywood is the spot. I am taking on Holes' Russian Rednecks, which are Pro Elves. So this is exciting. I've never played Pro Elves before. So I re-rolled with the Humans, Bad Guys Inc. I'm kind of over my human phase, so I wanted to try something different. I still love humans. I still play them in BC2 for as long as that lasts. Um, so that's all good. But I wanted to play something different. So originally in REL I was Dark Elf, so I'm going back to Dark Elves, man. I'm excited about it. Let's go ahead and switch it to my view. I start out when I'm playing brand new Dark Elves. I like to start out with the 4 Blitzer build, 4 Blitzers and 7 Linemen, 2 rerolls. I have often started with 3 Blitzers and a Witch. You actually can do both. You can do both easily. This build leaves me 10k extra, which I could have exchanged one of these guys for a runner. I don't like runners as to start, at least, as I made note of. If you're interested in why I decide how to build Dark Elves, I have a Dark Elf in-depth video on this channel. Just search Trunkhead Gaming Dark Elf in-depth. And it's about 45 minutes, and it goes through starting lineups for Dark Elves and build progression paths for all these guys. So I have started both 4 Blitzers and 3 Blitzers and Witch Elf. I elected to go with the 4 Blitzer build, A, because I'm more comfortable with it. I like it better. I think it's better overall. But B, because of with all the reroll teams, there's a lot of dodge already and not a lot of block. Like all the stunty teams and stuff, they don't have a lot of block. And especially in this Greenhorn tournament and like Kislev and stuff, I feel like having the extra block is more advantageous than having the extra dodge. Also, the normal reasons of having all the AV8 on the field and all the block on the field, those all still stand. You also end up being a little bit closer to your next piece because you have 10k in the bank, so you're a little bit closer to your third reroll if you start out with these guys. So these are my teams. We'll kind of go over the names real fast. This is the Dark Trunk. They're all named after. They're not named after movies. This is called the Dark Knight. So they're all named after movie characters. So Trunkhead Born, Robo Trunk, Indiana Trunk, Trunk Bow after Rambo, Trunk Face. Yeah. That's Scarface, not Leatherface. And Trunk McClane, did I give him? Trunk McClane, after John McClane. The Trunkinator, of course. Perda Trunk. 00 Trunk from 007. And Iron Trunk. That's our Iron Man. So, that is the squad. I am playing Holes. Holes was a playoff coach this season, actually. So I'm looking forward to this game. He was a playoff coach with Orcs. So I don't know how much experience he has with Pro Elves. I have no idea anything about him other than he made the playoffs from a 6 or 7, Division 6 or 7. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, so playoff coach means he knows what he's doing. Excited about this game. And I'm excited about starting over with Trunky, starting over REL with Dark Elves. Dark Elves is my first love. First team I was really into. I've mained a bunch of different races, but the first one that I was really into was Dark Elves. The goal is to get, in this game, to get with A to win, but B to get a level on 1 Blitzer. So if he scores twice, he gets a level. That's the hope. It looks like I'm going to give the ball to the Dark Trunk first. That doesn't mean he ends up with the ball. That just means that he's the guy going to be fielding the ball. I need to take advantage of my block in his AV7, so I want to be a little bit bashy, but as you know, I don't like to stand and bang with AV8. Even against AV7, man, if you're standing and banging with AV8, you're going to end up losing. Rain makes a big deal right in the very beginning. Now you have Elves in the Rain. Early Dark Elves can be very difficult because your reroll management is very difficult. You need to limit your dodges. So one of the advantages of playing Elf is your AG4 and you can dodge on a 2+. But since you don't have dodge skill and you only have 2 rerolls, you can shoot through these rerolls super fast if you're doing a lot of dodges because 1 in 6 happen a lot. And Elves dodge a lot. So you really need to be careful. You really need to try and limit your dodges as much as possible, and you do that by positioning correctly to where you're not in base contact at the end of a turn. Or if he's in base contact with you at the beginning of your turn, you need to engineer a way to hit people off with blocks as opposed to doing the 2 dies as opposed to doing the dodges. That is a trick to start with Dark Elves. So we're going to push this guy back. Percy, I don't know what his guys are named after. They're called the Russian Rednecks, so I think they all have redneck names, Billy Bob, Billy Ray. Dark Elves, or excuse me, Pro Elves, I don't know much about. They're all AV7. They're all movement 6, except for the catchers, who are movement 8. When they come with Nerves of Steel, which is really cool. So these are, so they're pretty cool pieces. You can throw to them easily. You got one thrower back here, Jeb, who's movement 6 also. And the Blitzers are movement 7. There's only 2 of them, and they're armor 8. So they're the only high armor team, and they have cool masks. They both have cool masks, yeah. So the Blitzers are a little different than the rest of the team. They're not, Pro Elves aren't wicked fast, other than these catchers, which I'm sure it's kind of like High Elves. They're kind of a mix between High Elves and Dark Elves. Like, they kind of got Dark Elf Blitzers and High Elf catchers. But they're kind of, their alignment are a little bit cheaper. They're known to foul more. Of all the elf races, they're known to foul the most. The Blitzer starting with sidestep is pretty cool. That means they're only 1 skill away from blodge step, which is a solid starting set. The catchers are just like high elf catchers. You kind of need to get them up to blodge as soon as possible. The Nerves of Steel makes a big difference. It's easy for pro elves to score, because of all the races, it's easiest for them to score. Because their passing game is so strong and their catching game is so strong. Go through and pop that guy. I'm going to kind of see if I can work my way into a... I'm trying to limit dice rolls, of course, that only have 2 rerolls. You know, with elves, you often go left to right and see if you can find a hole. So I'm trying to see if I can establish a little bit of a wall over here. The problem is we're almost essentially the same speed. Our lineman the same speed. He has 2 AV move 8 pieces. So he's just a little bit faster than me, because all I have is 4 move 7s. He's got 2 move 7s and 2 move 8s. But essentially, I mean, de facto, we're the same speed. So going left to right is only going to do me good if I can remove pieces and break armor. I've only broken armor once so far in AV7. It's only turn 2 though, so we're just going to kind of move around, try and limit our hits, stay spread out. If I can get him spread out, my thought is if I can keep him spread out, maybe I can find a hole to hit. It's a little bit harder. The sidestep really makes a big difference, because these guys can hold an area by themselves, because you have to knock them down. Otherwise, they can reposition themselves into a bad spot. He's going to come here. He's going to blitz trunk face. Who goes down? But armor holds. Armor 8s. And then he's just going to reposition around. He's kind of leaving. He's doing a good job on defense so far. It's turn 2, but his guys kind of centralized. I'm kind of shaded to the left, so he's bringing a couple more guys to the left. I can't go down the sideline. I can maybe hit this guy and go this way, except for he just puts this guy over here. So it's not a column elf screen, but it's still pretty solid elf screen for what he's got. So looking like I'm probably going to go right. I'm mostly centralized. I'm mostly in the middle. I got 3 guys over here, 1 guy over here. But I have enough. I think I can maybe hit one of these guys and go right a little bit. But it looks like I'm blitzing to the left. So I remember in this game, it just happened last night. What I was thinking was, it's only turn 3. I am really not in a hurry to go down the field. I need to eventually, but right now I'm kind of concentrating on, I want to get as many hits on elves and see if I can remove some people to make my later plays easier. But I know going left and right isn't going to do me a lot of good. So I just kind of want to stay spread out, and I want to try and get as many hits on AV7s as possible. See, I put 2 guys here for the assist. So if he wants to hit these guys, he has to commit to it, which is fine, but that keeps me kind of close to him. So that gives him 2 die here, which is the push on Iron Trunk. Which leaves me in contact with this guy, contact here and here. So I'm going to get more hits on AV7 next turn, excuse me. Predator Trunk goes down, which means I'm only going to get 2 hits in. Well, 3 hits now, because he put his blitzer, his blodge step blitzer on my guy. He's got sidestep, so that's kind of annoying. But again, I'm not really in a hurry to get down. We can hit this guy. He doesn't have dodge yet, so he's okay to hit. I think getting early tackle is going to be really kind of important in this particular league, especially against these pro elves. There's a fair number of pro elves being re-rolled right now. Stand him up. Probably put a piece there. I want to hit all these guys. I want to get as many hits on AV7 as possible. We'll do 2 die on the blitzer first. Going from here as opposed to here, because I don't want him to sidestep into this area. No matter where he goes, he's going to get hit again. But I did that here because I wanted this square to be filled. I didn't want him to go there. Get the POW. And he's going to back out a little bit. Armor break is good. Just a stun. We're going to come over here. because it looks like I'm going to try. Now that I got this guy stunned and he's kind of committed to the right, I'm thinking there's a hole to the left here. So I spread out a bit there. I don't even blitz to do that. If I could blitz that guy, it'd be great, but I had to blitz the guy off. So I didn't have to blitz this guy off my ball carrier. I could have just done the dodge. But again, I'm not really in a hurry, so I wanted to hit this guy, the chance that I can remove him. This was a good turn for me to hit people, so that's why instead of hitting the side really hard, which he can reposition to, I kind of wanted to get my punches in. Knock that guy down, so all of those hits and only one break. Fortunately, it was on the blitzer, but it was just a stun. You can see, again, I'm not really making big movements. I'm not in a hurry, any kind of such imagination. I'm just doing ball control. I'm thinking that I can win the bash game because I have more block and I have more armor. But I haven't. I haven't so far. It's turn 4, and I've done 4 turns, and I've done 0 damage so far, which is frustrating, man. He's going to come through, hit my blitzer, Indiana trunk. Those are, of course, big targets for him. You can see they kind of changed the stance of the blitzer to be more aggressive, so you could people really struggled with telling linemen and blitzers apart just by looking at them like you can with most teams. So they changed the stance a little bit. I had no problem with it because the Dark Elf, the blitzers, you see how spiky they're. I don't know how to do this. Anyway, you can see that they're spiky, and so I never had a problem telling. But people did, so they changed the stance a little bit to be more aggressive. I'm going to try and go to the right. I kind of want to start making moves a little bit. It's turn 5, so I want to have a plan right now of how I'm going to score. So I'm going to kind of commit to one side. You can see I'm moving my ball carrier all the way to the right because his guys are so far. Like, these guys are going to be out of the play. This guy can get in because he's move 8. But these two are definitely out of the play, and this guy can kind of half get into the play. The rest of these guys should be fine. So I kind of wanted to go make a heavy presence to the right and see if I could shake something loose. He's going to have to go hard right. All these elves are going to have to go to the right and protect against this. And you can see that I'm going to have this guy's locked up. He's not going anywhere. This guy's in contact. This guy's in contact. So if he doesn't make some kind of changes, he's going to get hit. This guy is left open to be surfed. So when I did this, actually, I knew this guy was possible to get surfed when I put him there, but I didn't have a problem with it. And when I thought about it, man, I took a little bit of time on this turn. I'm okay with this guy getting served because for him to get served, he has a lot of fucking elves he's got to commit to it. So because this guy's already got 2 assists on him, he's got to stand this guy up. He needs to have more assists than this guy. So here's 1. He needs to have another assist or do the 1 die. And then he's got to do a blitz. So this is a 3 to 4 elf commitment to blitz to hit this guy. And if he does that commitment, all these elves will be over here in a sideline, which will leave me a hole. Either these guys will be open or there will be a hole here. So either he'll try to cover this corner, and then all these elves will be here and have to be here too, which will leave me a hole right in this area. Or he'll try to commit to the right and try to stop me, which will leave these guys open, and I can kind of wall him off right there. So I knew it was a chance to be surfed, but it was kind of bait. And I've done this bait effect to great effect a number of times. If you know someone's got to commit a bunch of pieces to a surf, people, for whatever reason, people move heaven and earth to get the surf. They're so excited to get surfs in. So if you leave it to them, they'll invest a lot of pieces into it. Now, I wouldn't put him right here on the sideline because then it's just a one-person surf. Which is all he needs is 1 elf to go in there and get it. But since he's here, I know he's got to invest. If he wants to invest in it, he's okay. If he doesn't want to invest in it, then I'm going to have a stronger up right here, up this side. So it was kind of a bait. And if it works, I'll have either a gap here or I can go up over here. All I got to do is hand it to this guy and then go this way and then use these guys to wall. Or he goes here and here and then leaves me a hole right here. I do some kind of blitz and go up in this area. So hopefully he goes for this surf. Considering all the people he's moving over there, I think he's likely to do so. Probably with this guy. Stand him to cancel these assists. Bring these. He's putting everybody in position first. This guy's on his face, unfortunately, because he got stunned. Here he goes. This is going to be a 1 die into the push, which is exactly what he needs. If there's 1, 2, 3, 4 elves over here, he's got to bring this guy over. He's got to come up and around. So this was a 5 elf commitment, right? 5 elves over here to get this guy surfed. which is exactly what I wanted. So now I have options. I can either go cut through this gut right here, and he's coming down here. He burns this reroll. So what he wants to do is base my guy, but my guy can get away on a 2+. So this is, I don't know what the purpose of this was. I mean, it makes me roll an extra dice, but he had a burner reroll to get there. He does carry more rerolls than I do. So he's gonna go through and he's gonna base my dude, but I don't think that has the effect that he wants to do. Like, I am not concerned with this guy even a little bit. And you'll see in my turn, I just completely ignore him. I could hit him, and he's just gonna if I don't knock him down, he's just gonna chase around my ball carrier. But I can get away in a 2+, and that's a good use of my reroll. So almost exactly what I wanted to happen happened. He invested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys over here. I only have 3 guys over here, and I can change fields wicked fast. So yeah, I'm down a piece, but I'm in a better position than him, which is exactly what I wanted. Go up here because I want to mark this guy. I don't know that I'm going to hit him, but I'm going to mark him at least. So what I'm looking at, there's a gap right here. This hole right here, this is, if I can knock this guy out of the way, this is a 2+ hole right here, and I can get all these guys, I can flood them all through here, and then I'm kind of set up a wall right here, because I have better position than him. Except for these 2 fast guys who can catch up to me. Knock this guy out, and then just 2+, and I can just flood my gate right through this gap right here. If I knock him down, which I do, I hit him there, and then I'm going to go through this gap. And this might be my ball carrier. We'll see. So actually, this is going to be my ball carrier. So I move him around, and I put him there because all these guys are going to go this way, and he just acts as another screen. I'm going to hand the ball off to Indiana Trunk, it looks like. And then he's going to go through here and sit up here, and then I'm going to just start bringing Elves through one at a time to see how many I can get over there for the wall. 3+ handoff in the rain. And then we'll just run right through there, just like we did before. And then we're going to start moving everybody else through. We'll do this 2 dice right here. And I'm using, so again, I could have used any one of these guys. I used this guy for the 2 die because I want these guys to get over. That extra space of movement's important to getting over here for the screen. So I moved him. Now this guy's got to go around me or get punched. And these guys have more movement. So here we go. Let's see how many we can get through there. There's one. I kind of want to move this guy forward because I want to stop. These 2 guys can get to me pretty easy because they're move 8. So I wanted to make sure they have to go around as much as possible and roll dice. Roll 2 dodge, GFI, and then he's got to cancel that assist. So that's why I did those GFIs, and I have the rerolls. I'm willing to spend them. And then we're setting up more screen. Do this 2 die because why not? He can't get into the play effectively, so I'll just go ahead and do the 2 die instead. And we'll stand him up. I'm going to move him around over here, just to make this a little more secure. So you can see that my plan effectively worked. I was okay with getting surfed right there because there's 5 Elves over here now, and now I have 6 Elves on the left-hand side. I knew there would be a hole either here or he's going to let me up the sideline. There had to be if he's investing this many pieces. And then he did me a favor by putting this guy way back here. Like this, he was trying to mark the ball carrier to make me roll dice, but I get away on a 2+, so it's not super effective. I'm going to get away 90% of the time. And now he's just effectively out of the play. I am way up here threatening to score, and he is way back here. So this guy is going to take 2 turns. I can score before he gets to me. He's going to go through. He's going to punch that guy, which means my ball carrier is safe for 1 more turn. Indiana Trunk got the ball. Trunk McLean takes a punch. And then he's going to go base that guy, which is a smart move. Now he's like, I got to base. It's usually, in Heavy 7, you don't want to base anybody, but he realizes I can score next turn if I want. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to make it difficult for me to stall by putting pressure on me. It's easy, really easy. Pro Elves have one of the easiest 2-turn touchdowns in all of the game, if not the easiest 2-turn touchdown in all the game because of the fucking Nerves of Steel and the move 8. And these guys, like, they can 2-turn really easy. So what he's doing here is he's putting pressure on me to prevent the stall. So normally you don't want to base, but he needs me to score fast so he has a chance to equalize. He makes his dodges. And I have to decide, essentially. So I got these 4 guys out of position, but he's got 3 dudes over here. Like, my plan has worked to this point, exactly how I wanted it to. But I have to decide. So I need to decide right now whether I want to stall one more turn, or go ahead and score. I can score right now. I have 2 rerolls. I have block. The only guy that really I'm worried about getting hit is by this guy, and he's got to roll a ton of dice to do it. So it's a risk. I think it's really risky to give Pro Elves 2 turns to score a touchdown. I really do. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and stall one more turn, and it's going to involve. It took a long time figuring out how I wanted to do this. I'm going to hit him with the ball carrier. He doesn't have block. I do on 2 dice. I'll knock him back, and then I'm going to put him right here. I don't want to put him right here because if he somehow gets around this guy, I don't want him to get surfed. So I'll put him right there, which I know opens me up to a 1 die, but it's a very difficult 1 die. And then I'm moving pieces around. The only guy that I should move is maybe this guy before I do this block, but I'm doing block. I have block against no block, and I want to see if I knock this guy down or not, because this guy, to get where I want, he's effective right where he is. I'm screening all these guys. I do want to move him down here, but if I double skull this or quad skull this, it's not the end of the world because he's kind of being effective where he is. I should move these 2 guys into contact before I do this throw. Knock him down. Push him to the left. Now I'm going to do this dodge, which I fail. Again, I probably should have moved this guy first, but this dodge is... I needed him. So this guy couldn't get to where I wanted him to go without 2 GFIs. Like, I needed to fill this gap. So the reason I did this dodge before I did this one is this guy, to get where he wants to get here, which is the most crucial spot to this screen, it was 2 GFIs. While it's only 1, so it's a 2 2+ as opposed to a 1 2+ to get to where he is. That's why I moved him first, because I wanted him to, this was more important. Getting to this square was more important than being back here. If I didn't fail this square, he can go right through here. So that's why I moved this guy before I moved this guy. But now that I've got that guy there, I don't have to do the GFIs. I can put him right here and be fine. These guys I should have moved before I did that block or even that dodge. So that was a little bit of a mistake. All 3 of these guys. This guy, he did dodges, so I could have moved him last. I did that so I had more. I cut both corners just so I can get it in the way more here. And then this guy is going to move around a little bit. I think he is likely to just go over here. There's not going to place that guy. I want him to roll dice to get to me. So the reason I'm basing like this is he's got to hit on my ball carrier. It's I believe a 3+4+ to a 1 die, and if he can cancel this assist, it's a 1 die. If otherwise, it's uphill, and that's difficult to do. If I can make him spend a die roll on one of these 2+s someplace ahead of time, then that reroll that becomes more dicey. So I'm making him roll dice before he gets to my ball carrier. He's doing his 2 dice. Trunk McLean. Catchers are strength 3, which is really nice. Being a human coach, I get jealous of strength 3 catchers. He's going to go through and cancel that assist, so now I know he's going to hit this guy. So it's a 2+, which he fails, which is exactly why I did all these basings, so I can make him roll dice. Now it's a 3+4+, which he gets into the 1 die. But that's just a block, and he can't re-roll it. And then he does a 4+3+ to get out, which is baller. So now I can score at will. Basically, I want to take, I have a reroll left, so I want to take my hits with block. It doesn't really matter what I hit. I want to hit AV7, of course. He's going to highway that guy to protect him. So I'll hit this guy, probably stand up and hit this guy. I could hit this catcher if I wanted from here. Put that guy right there and hit him, which would probably be smart, but it's not what I did. Hit that dude, knock him down. I'll move him here so I can stand up and hit that guy, then I'm going to go score. Oh no! Oh no! Fucking, oh, phew. Man, it would suck to take a 1,296 on a guaranteed score like that. It's a risk you take, though, I guess. Get the score at Indiana Trunk. And he has to do a 1-turner. Again, they have moved 8 guys, so they can 1-turn. It involves 3 pushes. 3 pushes, a pass and catch in the rain, which is a 3+ catch if there's no tackle zones, and then 2 GFIs, plus whatever dodges he needs to do. So I'm going to try and make this as difficult as possible for him to get the pushes. I don't have, so when you have a big guy, you often see me with the big guy. I'll put the big guy right where this dude is, and then 2 guys right here, leaving me a gap in the middle, because it's really hard to push the big guy. Dark Elves don't have a big guy, and I don't have any with sidestep. Sidestep would make this super easy to defend against because I can move my guys around. So instead of the picket fence, which I think is a failure, even though he doesn't have dodge, picket fence probably would have been okay because he doesn't have dodge. It'd be a bunch of 3+, 4+. I'm gonna make it hard for him to do the pushes, especially since he doesn't have any rerolls. He's got to do the pushes. And the reason I put these guys here in the corners because if you don't put this guy here, which often I don't do, if I have guard, if I don't put this guy here, he moves one of these guys into here, and then he can do the push into this square. So if this guy wouldn't be here, he would go in here, blitz this dude, and go that way, and it would be 2-die because of this guy, and he cancel these assists. If I leave this guy here, he cannot cancel this assist. It's impossible for him to cancel that assist. So at best, he gets a 1-die to do the push. Cancel these 2 assists, come through here, do the 1-die, and he's got to do it. He's got to reroll, so it makes it more difficult. So getting these corner pushes, you see it in the same on both sides. So he's got to move this dude out of the way. To get either one of these pushes, it's going to be very difficult unless he wants to come around and push me from behind, which involves, again, GFIs and dodges. So if you don't have any big guys or stand firm or anything, this is a very solid one-turn defense right here. If you can, you want to put guard where these are. I don't have guard. And then tackle on these wings because the pushes will involve going around these wings, and then the tackle will make the dodges seem more difficult. But these are fresh teams, man, so you kind of do what you can. I'm going to talk about this one-turn attempt pretty quick. I remember Holes saying that he was very proud. Whoops. He was very proud of this one-turn attempt because he figured it out without using the guide for the first time, which I can remember my first one-turn attempt without using the guide. It's a big deal. So I'm going to see if I can deduce because I remember looking at it, and I don't remember how the fuck he was going to do it. This guy is the guy that's going to score a touchdown, so this guy needs the push. So he's got to... I don't know how he's going to push him from here. Also, I want to change the angle a little bit. It's a pitch invasion, so guys get stunned, so the one turn ends anyway. So remember saying he needed this catcher to do this push. And it was more difficult. So I don't know what his thinking is. I wonder if he's trying to... Clearly it involves putting the guy in this gap. He needs to put a guy, so he has to put a guy here. One of these guys goes right here. And then he's got to push a piece into this gap. And then use this guy to push this guy, push this guy, push this guy. And then push up into here. But then he needs to push again. He would need an extra push. All right, so let's discount, for instance, however he was going to do this. His goal is to put a guy into here and put a body here. And then use this guy to blitz this, hits this guy, and this guy goes here. Then this guy hits this guy, hits this guy, hits him here. Oh, and then this guy hits this guy, and then he can go. Okay, so that makes sense. So then we need to figure out how did he plan on getting this push here. I think what his plan was, I think he was going to push this guy right here. And then do a red die. It would be a 1-die. So he puts this guy here, cancels both of these assists. More importantly, fills this square. Pushes this guy here, like attacks straight from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 1 GFI into a 1-die. The 1-die gets a push into this guy, who pushes him into here, who then does the rest of that. So actually, he could do it, man. This ruined his plan, and I didn't see it when he did it. So it involves 2 dodges, so 3 2+s there, into a 1-die against block when you don't have block, and then a push, and then a bunch of pushes, and then he's gonna give him the ball. So it was very, 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 very low probability of working, but it was there. It just fucking happened. This is extremely weird. I don't know what just happened here. Did the replay mess up? Is this a replay bug? This did not happen in the game, so I don't even know. Let's just fast forward. Huh. Interesting. So anyway, the one-turn attempt did not work. He failed the GFI. There's clearly a replay bug there. All right, so now the second half, he gets the ball. I have to do. If I want to, I can either win 1-0, which involves defending against Pro Wells, which I have mentioned before is not easy, even a little bit easy. Or I can force him to score as quickly as I can. It depends on how comfortable he is installing with AV7 against. He's got the reroll advantage, so I don't know what he's going to do at this point. If he's stalling, he's going for the tie. If he's going for the win, he's going to try and score fast. So I have to kind of read what he's going to do and react to it. Dark Elves can two-turn pretty easily as well. So I'm okay if he scores fast. Perfect defense helps me out a little bit. I get perfect defense so I can stop these line of scrimmage hits by loading the lineup. The ball is going right to a catcher, so I need to make sure I have guys over here. The perfect defense isn't that big of a deal. It does remove these line of scrimmage hits. He might get 1 or 2 of them off. I often, when I'm playing Elves, don't use my line of scrimmage hits, even though you should if you can work a way to do it. But I don't want to give up position for line of scrimmage hits, which is something a lot of coaches do. It's very common because you're like, I want to take these 3 free hits. But you don't really hit that hard as Elves, and the positioning, I believe, is more important. So I remember he was like, oh, man, of course I'm going to lose these LOS hits, but I don't think that's a big of a deal, really, as Elves. He's going to go through and get his hits here. Knock down trunk face. He's going to catch the ball on the right, but rearrange to the left because I stacked my guys to the right a little bit, but I didn't stack them all to the right. I still have enough over here. Set up his screen. He's just going to dodge away. So he's, like I said, he's missing these hits, which makes him a little bit cranky. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like they all 3 fucking throw high kicks and miss. So I don't know what he's going to do yet. If he's going to play the stall game, then I have to figure out a way to prevent him. But if he's going to try and push me and score, there's not a lot I can do to stop him. Without some kind of crazy stellar defense and get a little bit lucky. But B, I just want to pressure him to score. So I'm gonna set up like he's stalling me right now, which means if he's stalling me, then the goal is, so if he's doing a stall, what you need to do is make sure you're in a good enough position to where 14, 15, and 16, you make it extremely difficult for him to score. I mean, if he gives you a shot at the ball, of course you take it. So you kind of probe left and right, and you kind of make sure you're in good position because he's leaving himself very little room for error to score. So as of right now, he hasn't crossed the line of scrimmage, so I need to play like he's stalling. So I need to make sure I maintain good position. Usually that involves an Elf screen, just doing columns. I want to make sure I'm as center to the ball as possible. I could have just stayed right here and been fine. But I was a little bit worried about the ball going to one of these catchers and coming down the sideline. So these guys probably should be here, center to the ball. I've shaded them a little bit to the left because I have more guys to the right. I'm going to leave this guy kind of on an island by himself, which means if I know if he hits him, he's going to move that way, but I can move back to him. You generally want to blitz towards where your ball is going. So this makes me think he's going to move this ball back to the right. The Trunkinator is going to take a punch. And an armor break. That's no good. Very tame game so far. I mean, I'm hitting a bunch of AV7. I got a fair number of hits on the AV7. I could not get any breaks. He's hit me at least once or twice a turn. And AV8's held. So far, it's been about the equal number of stuns on both sides. He's going to rearrange to the right. This guy got around me, Percy. So I need to make sure I get in front of him. Again, he's only got 3 guys over the line of scrimmage. So if he's going to do the stall, I need to make sure I get in front of him and stay in good position. It's pushing those guys forward. Makes me have to deal with them. My guess is I'm likely to blitz one of these dudes. Very least when you get in front of them. Looking at it from here, I'm not sure what I did, so I'm probably going to hit that guy. I think I would prefer to hit this guy. Kind of isolate this dude. But I can still get through here on 2 pluses, so it's not a huge deal. I'm going to base both of them. Here comes the blitz. Looks like I'm going to blitz. Yeah, I'm going to blitz this guy. That's the guy I wanted to blitz. Yeah, because I wanted to kind of get in front over here. Isolate this dude. Now he's kind of stuck there. I can put these guys in the sideline. I could do that GFI. I don't want to. I only have 2 rerolls, so you really have to be careful about using your rerolls and taking risks when you only have 2 rerolls and you don't have dodge or anything. I don't have any built-in rerolls, so you really gotta be careful about rolling extra dice when you're early Dark Elves. Like it's a critical skill to early Dark Elves, and early Dark Elves are kind of boring. And they're kind of difficult because you only have 2 rerolls. So you really got to be careful about spending those extra dice. This guy's he's got to do 3+2+ to get out. 3+2+ right here. So now he's going to switch sides of the field again. I committed pretty hard to the right, probably too hard to the right. But I had to make sure that I had guys, not doing this GFI right here caused me to bring 2 guys over here as opposed to 1. And the 2+ would have saved me one of these guys that could have left over here more. Because I was scared about doing the GFI with the 2 rerolls, I had to commit an extra guy, which left the other side of the field open. Dark Trunk fucking falls on his face, takes an armor break. He's stunned. But it's not showing up for some reason. He's stunned. You can see Dark Trunk he failed his armor and then took a stun. He's going on back to the left. It is turn 3. And there's a 3+ dodge. He failed. He re-rolls it. I think that's an aggressive re-roll. He does get away. But that uses one of his re-rolls, so I'm happy about that. That's part of the reason I did all that. Trying to make him cause re-rolls. Does another 3+2+, which is... Oh, there's a stun. He does another 3+2+, which was gutsy since he just used his re-roll. So I can tell at this point he's made a couple decisions like that, which makes me think he's a really aggressive coach, which actually plays into Pro Elf style pretty well. But if he fails some of those, then we're doing okay. Pro Elves do start with 3 rerolls, which is frustrating since I only start with 2. So right here, what I've decided is, if I pressure him right now by basing contact, I'm going to force him to score at least by turn 13, which will give me 4 turns to equalize. So I was doing this train until I figured out what he wanted to do, but now he's deep enough to make me think he's probably going to want to score. And if he doesn't want to score, then he's got to back out. And I can force him to make his decision to do one or the other by basing him. I am AV8 to his AV9, and I have more block, or his AV7, and I have more block than him. So at this point, this is the right time to get into base contact. Generally with Elves, your AV8 Dark Elves, you don't want to fucking do the base and bash game, even against AV7, because you will lose that eventually. You just leave it up to Nuffle at that point, but this is the right time to do it. I'm going to pressure him to either commit fully to the score or to back out, and I'm going to get all these hits in, and hopefully I can knock some of them out. So this is why you see me, now I've decided it's time to base into him. You don't want to just do it from the beginning because you're putting yourself in a bad position, but I'm at a spot now where I can kind of pick my battle a little bit, and he needs to either commit to the bash. I get a KO, which is super nice. He either needs to commit to the bash, which I'm okay with because right now I'm in a better position than he is, or he needs to go back out and score or back out. So, like, if he wants to commit to the bash, he needs to bring a body in over here to get 2 die in this guy. And he needs to bring a guy down here. So, yeah, you don't want to base and bash as Dark Elves, but this is the time to do it. And you want to do it in a smart way. Put pressure all the way up here and guys down here. So he needs to clear these guys. So he can't clear these guys. Excuse me, because of these guys down here. So this makes me think he's going to try and score early, which means I'm going to keep pushing the basing. Since he's bringing all these guys down here, what I want him to do, he's not going to score this turn, but I want him to score on turn 13 so that I get 4 turns to get the win. So he's coming through here. I'm just going to crash these guys. I want to base as many elves as possible. And if he wants to try and... One SPP there from Billy Ray. If he wants to try and stall against the bash game. I am favored in the bash game, especially since he's down one piece because I knocked him out. He's got the ball carrier counts as one piece. And now he's got this guy way back here who highwayed. When a guy retreats to the rear, I call it highwaying. And that guy is back there. So I have the player advantage. He's going to try and base me right there. I don't mind. I'll probably just fucking move one of these guys down here to hit that guy. So there's 2 dice here. And then I get my blitz. So I'm going to get 2, and then I got this hit. So I got 3 hits this turn on AV7, which I'm happy about. But I couldn't find a good position for this guy, so he's a good choice to give me the 2 die assist there. And now before I do my dice, I want to get as many guys in contact as possible. This guy is way out of play. I don't give 2 shits about him. Go ahead and punch this dude, Billy Bob, the blitzer. Billy Bob's got sidestep, so he's going to move in this way. I don't want to follow in right there because if I follow in, I'm just going to get 2 died back. And even though I want to do base and bash, I don't want to give up easy 2 dice like that. That's an automatic 2 die. We're going to come through. We're going to blitz this guy, the other blitzer, and Bubba, and just get a push on him. That one I do want to follow up because I want to be on this ball carrier, especially so I can stand him up to negate that 2 die. And then I want to base this guy because I want to put pressure on him. I want him to score. We'll bring another blitzer around, get him involved. So this is a red die, and then I'll take my 1 more hit. Get the POW. Hopefully I can kill this guy. And get this done. I have not had much luck hitting the AV7 today. Not getting the damage I'm looking for. Looks like there's some replay bugs there. He's going to push that guy back so he doesn't have to do the dodge. And then probably just go score. Yeah. He's doing a little dance. People love to do the dances. I don't. Like I've mentioned a number of times, I don't dance. I think it's stupid, but whatever. Makes people happy. So he decided he couldn't stay in bash. He knew stalling was going to be difficult because I was basing him all over the place. So it looks like an ineffective defense because he scored, but I'm feeling pretty solid, man. I got half the turn to fucking equalize. And elves can Dark Elves can 2-turn, even against other elves. It's not easy, but you can do it. With 4 turns, I'm feeling pretty confident right now, especially since I've maintained my rerolls. His KO did come back, so we're at even numbers, which is unfortunate. I cannot seem to catch any bashing breaks, but I'm not really hitting him super hard. Like, I've hit him a fair number of times, enough to where I should have gotten at least 1 Kaz, maybe 2, and a knockout. But his armor is held pretty strong. So as I'm looking at this right this second, they got the stupid throw. Perfect defense is not what I wanted. So the way I was looking at it, the way I set up was I can just go right up this fucking middle right here. My plan was knock this guy out, and then maybe knock these guys out. I'm just having to knock them out or not. And then just fucking run up the middle and set up like a V. So I'm screening this side and screening this side. That's kind of my plan. The perfect defense is going to end all that. You see he's going to set up. I don't think he knew that he left a hole there. I think he's setting up like this because the ball is to the right. So the perfect defense did screw me, but I think it inadvertently screwed me. He's kind of doing this smart. I like the way he's doing this, actually, by putting the line of scrimmage guys to the left, but putting the screen to the right. I like this because it makes it. This is smart. There's a hole right here, these 2 holes, actually. But I can't really get to it because all my guys are to the right. So this is a smart. He took good advantage of the perfect defense. He's a playoff coach, so he expects stuff like that. I'll take that 2 dice I have. The only other 2 dice I have, I can put a guy here and get another 2 dice. And then the blitz, of course. I go through and blitz that guy. I knock him down. I should move him here, but I move him back there. Because of the perfect defense, I no longer have the big gap to get through, so I need to be a little patient. I don't have a lot of time, but I have enough time that I can at least spend 1 turn setting up the defense, and that's a 3+ pickup, so I wanted to make sure I pick that up. Get the pickup, no problem. I can move a guy right here and 2 die that guy, and that leaves this 1 guy in a base that can do there too. That's fine. Get the POW, which I like, but don't follow up because that just puts me in a spot to get hit. KO is huge right there. Finally getting a removal. It's only my 2nd KO of the game. That's big. That leaves only 10 defenders. I need some kind of removals right there, so that's good. Like I said, I need to move forward, but I need to be a little bit patient about it. Like I had to be patient with this way because the way the kick was, the perfect defense screwed up my plan. I was going to be very aggressive and set that screen up, but I didn't. Perfect defense stopped all that, so I had to spend a turn regrouping and figuring out where I want to go. Getting that KO is kind of a big deal. Even 1 piece is kind of a big deal right now. He's going to come through. He's going to pop Trunk Kidborn. And base me, but again, this doesn't bother me. It's a 2+. I mean, There's a chance I'll do the 1 in 6, so it's not very good. He fails to dodge and is going to go ahead and use his reroll. Again, aggressive use of the reroll right there. I think he was in an okay position. He didn't need to do that. But if you look, he leaves me a gap. So you can see me moving into it already. There's a hole right here. These squares are not holes. So I'm going to do the same plan I had before because these blitzers are too far apart. If one of these blitzers, if this blitzer was right here, or even if this blitzer was this guy, he'd be okay. This blitzer should be right here. The reason, if his blitzer's right here, then I have to go left around this guy, and it's more difficult. These guys are out of position. The reason it's so advantageous to go with the middle is most of my guys are in the middle. So if I clear this dude, I can set up, again, my V here and my V here. And it's going to be very difficult for him to fucking get a hold of me. He's going to have to get around me with this one dude. So I need to make sure I stop. This is basically, my plan is move this guy, bring everybody and their brother up the middle, set up here, and then try to make it as difficult for this guy as possible to get around me. This guy back here, I like that he's on the ball carrier because he's out of the play. He is fast, he can catch up to the play, but he's behind me now, and this guy's behind the play too. I have talked numerous times, if you watch my channel, numerous times about attacking a cage from behind, attacking the ball from behind, that if I go forward, these guys are going to be out of position. Used to happen to me all the time. That's why I don't really do it very often. I might send one guy at most. He sent two because he needed this assist. So now these two guys, he's already out one dude with the KO. These two guys are going to be behind the play, and then I'm going to have position because of this mistake right here. Stand him up first because there's no dice roll there. I'm going to go through. I'm going to hit this dude. I just need to push him is all I need. Push is what I get. Push him right there. Indiana Trunk is going to run right up the middle. Now, this is a little bit greedy. This is the guy I want to score with because he scored already. And if I can get both goals on him, then he gets a level after the first game, which is huge. So it's a big advantage. So I'm setting him up right there in the middle. A, because he didn't really have the movement to get to where I wanted him anyway. But B, like this took all 4 minutes on this turn. I plotted it all out. These guys can all, I can use him for the screen here and here. He can't quite get far enough. Basically, this guy can't get to where Indiana Trunk is without GFI. So if I just do the dodge and then handoff, he can be part of the screen. He can ball carrier. I have guys here and guys here. So now we are just going to flood right through there. Get as many guys up here as possible. This guy's going to go set up the screen. This guy's going to go set up the screen. So I'm going to do my dodge right now. I have three more guys I can move without doing dice roll. The reason that I'm doing the dodge here first is I want these guys here in case this dodge fails. If the dodge fails, I'm going to dodge it. I'm going to go dodge right here. The ball's going to go in one of these squares, and I'll have all these guys behind the play. I need to have somebody back there to at least slow them down so these guys can catch up. So the reason, usually you move all your non-dice rolls first, but you have to kind of do a balance here. Like I moved all these guys up, I set up this cage. I did not move these guys. I wanted them just in case I fail this dodge. I wanted 36 this dodge, which I don't. Go through here and put them right there and do the handoff. It's 3+ handoff. You got the reroll. Boom. Now the rest of these guys are free to move because the ball is secure up here. There's a dodge. There's a GFI. There's another GFI. I did the GFIs to prevent this guy from getting around for an assist. This guy can get through me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or he can do it right this way with 2 GFIs. So you can either do a 3+ in there or do an extra GFI. And I don't really have, I could have done one more GFI there, but this GFI would have been, doing this GFI would have been before I secured the ball or moved the ball. So I didn't want to do it there because I wanted to make sure that I saved the reroll for moving the ball around. So he left me that gap. That was his only mistake really so far was that leaving that gap. Maybe he scored too early. You can make an argument about that if he's trying to push the score. So 2 mistakes. If he's going to try and win the game, he should have scored as quickly as possible on turn 9 or 10, probably turn 10, to give him more time to attack the ball on defense. So if you're going to try and push, if you're losing 1-0 at halftime and receiving the ball, if you're going to go for the win, you need to score as quickly as possible to give yourself more turns to attack the ball and turn it over and get the ball back. He kind of waited till turn 5. Turn 4 is probably the worst time to score, especially against an elf team, because now I have a half the half to I have a quarter. I have a whole quarter to score. So that was a tactical mistake, and then he made a positioning mistake right here by leaving me in that gap. Other than that, he's played a really solid game so far. Here he comes. He's going to do a 2+. GFI into a 1-die, into a skull. He's got a reroll. That's his last reroll. He has been pretty aggressive with his rerolls. Just gets the push. He pushes him here. He wanted to push him here. Is what he said. I don't really know why, but that's what he wanted. Now he's going to push me again. Push me back right back to where I was. These pushes were not well done. This push should have gone here. It would have given him a 1-die again. But now he's just moved my ball carrier closer, so I can score at any time. So he's going to move his blitzer out to get around me, and he's going to fail since he was so aggressive with rerolls. He didn't have the reroll there. Used it early in the half. Out of rerolls, that guy's on his face. So the question here, the debate here is, do I score right now, which I can, and just fucking run right in the middle. Just clear this guy, and then it's not even a GFI to get there. Do I do that, and then give him a chance to one turn, or do I try and stall? And you always got to look at it. How easy for him to one turn? Well, he's got 2 move 8 pieces, so he needs 3 pushes. He needs to do it without a reroll in the rain, so it's not easy for him to one turn. But I can kind of stall pretty easily right here because all these guys. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elves behind the play, and you can argue 7 elves behind the play. So there's really only 4 guys that are any kind of threat at all. So I like the stall here because he's only got 4 guys to pressure me, and I have most of my team to protect the ball. So I don't think it's worth the risk of the one turn since I have such an easy stall here. I'm going to go through when I fucking blitz this dude, Billy Ray, the 1 SPP catcher. We're going to hit him. Oh, no! Billy Ray. These catchers are 100,000. This catcher right here is at 10% of his fucking team value. And he gone. So that means there's only 3 guys to pressure the ball, really. I'm going to go ahead and set a screen on this dude. Finally an armor break. Finally some kind of injury. Knock that dude down. So my only concern right now, I'm going to set up a screen on this guy. So it's going to be very difficult. He's going to have to go. I'm going to have to do a GFI over here to stop him from going around me. But this guy, to do that, I have to cut enough pieces to where this guy's going to be open. So my plan is to foul. All I need is a stun, and I got 2 assists on him already as AV7, so it's going to be pretty good. So let's make sure I do the screens first. We'll do all of our movements. This is 2-die here. I moved this guy before I did this 2-die. Because you should do your free movements first. He's going to do GFIs. But I didn't want to hit this guy and him to sidestep over here, which impeded this guy's movement. So I did this movement, even though it's going to involve GFIs. I need a GFI over here before I did this 2-die. He's going to go there, and then 1 GFI over. Oh, maybe not. This guy's going to GFI over. So pop that guy. He goes back, fortunately. Stay where I'm at. Now this guy needs to come over here, and he needs to go right here. Or right here. He's got to do 1 GFI. Fail it. That GFI is important because this guy can go around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this guy right here, without this, was 3 2+s to a 1-die. Now is a 3+, or excuse me, 1, 2+, 3+, 3+, 2+ to a 1-die. Right now. But this guy can still hit the ball, so I'm going to bring this dude over here. I'm going to fucking stop on him. All I need is a stun right here. I don't even care if I get sent off. Stun, looks like. Stun's exactly what I need. That's what I got, even though it'll show up then. And then I'm bringing him down here because now he's only. This is all the most important stuff. Most important stuff. This right here. This is a scoring threat, kind of. He's actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So he's 2 GFIs away. Because all of this was successful, I can go ahead and do this dodge and then 2-die this guy. All I gotta do is push him out, and then he's no longer a scoring threat. In the event something crazy happens. Get the knockdown. Eustace, who has the touchdown. He can no longer score. There's the stun. There's a 3+. He did that crazy dodge. He actually did it the 4+. Knocked himself out. I have a reroll. I can hit somebody. AV7, you can argue that I should, but since the game is on the line right here, I mean, you want the SPP to build your team, but the win is more important, especially since it's the first game of the Greenhorn tournament. That guy knocks himself out. Ball turns over. I'm just going to go ahead and score. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ball game. New REL team, Trunky Wood. Indiana Trunk gets the level. I did get an SPP somewhere. I didn't get a ton of SPP this game, which is unfortunate. I'm trying to build your team. But I did get the victory. He got MVP on his Blitzer, which is awesome. He only needs one fucking vanity pass to get that guy to Blodge Step, which is great. He did lose a catcher. He is considering if his team gets absolutely ruined, he's considering going dwarfs, and he was threatening me with it. But I don't mind playing dwarfs when I'm dark elves. Like, yeah, it's very difficult, but it's not impossible. It's worse as human, so I don't care if he plays dwarfs. I got it on double O trunk, which is unfortunate, an alignment instead of a blitzer, but he'll do one, hopefully do one vanity pass next game, and hopefully get that level. 11 armor breaks to 4. You can see I only got 13. He got 9. I hit him 32 times and removed 4. He hit me only 24 times, which is awesome. 32 is kind of what you're going for. So 24, anything less than that is awesome. Just awesome. He's not a bash team though, so that's okay. You can see he removed himself one more time. These dice rolls, these things don't make sense. Like, clearly there's a mistake here somehow. I don't think this is working properly. If you look at it, that was him, this is me, and this is both of us. I mean, maybe that's right. I guess I didn't really look at it too much. Both teams are 7 failed dodges. I did. I failed 1 dodge. I did 7 going forwards and failed 1, it looks like. I had 8 armor break failures. That's on him. So I hit him. I only broke armor 3 times is what it's saying. This injury, like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. These things don't make sense to me. But it looks like I didn't roll very many dice, according to this. I don't think these things are working right. I really don't. 13 pals to 10 skulls, 10 both downs. So I got the dice were a little bit in my favor. It looks like 27 to 20. So I had 7 more positive dice than I did negative dice. So that's good. Let's see what his looks like. He had 13 positive dice to 13 negative dice, so his was exactly even and a lot of pushes. So it looks like I had a little bit better blocking dice. D6s, he threw a ton of dice. I mean, he did. He rolled a ton of GFIs too. 30, what's this GFIs? Go for it. 15 go for it. It's only 1 failure. You see, that's pretty impressive. So he threw just a ton more dice than I did. Ton more dice. You can see I had twice as many 6s as 1s, which is good. So these are, let's say these are positive dice. That's 23 positive dice to 16 negative dice. So the dice were kind of in my favor. But I wasn't, you can see that I wasn't taking very many risks. I wasn't rolling many dice. So when you're not rolling many dice and you're getting good dice like that, then things are gonna go your way. That is Trunky Wood. I got a level on Indiana Trunk, and he rolled a 10, a 6 and a 4. I would almost always take dodge first on a normal roll, but because it's hard for Dark Elves to 1-turn, getting the move 8 is crucial, because now I can do a 1-turn with only 3 pushes as opposed to 4 pushes. 3 pushes requires 9 players in most cases. When you have move 7, you requires 11 players, your entire team, which is unusual for an elf to have your entire team available. So this movement is kind of a big deal. I rolled a 3 on winnings. I usually re-roll winnings if they're under 4. And re-rolled into a 5, so I have 70k, so I'm only 30k away from my next team roll. Purchase priority for Dark Elves. Get your 3rd re-roll first, get your Apothecary 2nd, and then start filling in your roster with your Witch Elves. Or replacing linemen. Sometimes you need to replace linemen. For whatever reason, man, the Greenhorn tournament has just a ton of deaths in it, so likely, I don't know who my next opponent is. I'm playing some other 1-0 coach. Likely, with the way dice have been going, it's likely that I'll lose in lineman, but I'll play with loners. I want to get my team reroll my Apothecary. I'll play with loners until then. So 30k more to the reroll, 50k for the Apothecary, and then I can start worrying about moving up Witch Elves or replace some bodies. If I lose a Blitzer before I get to my Witch Elf, then it's debatable whether I want the Witch Elf or the Blitzer. I usually replace the Blitzer before I get the Witch Elf for the same reason I start with 4 Blitzers. But it kind of depends on what I have coming ahead of me. I don't know. But that is Trunky Wood. Indiana Trunk, he's moved 10. Debatable whether I try and get one of these guys a level before I try and get him his dodge. I think the dodge is crucial because for the 1-turn attempt. You want as many built-in as rerolls as possible, and I kind of feel like this is a good time before the team has any team value to go ahead and pound this guy into his second level, because my TV will stay low. But we will see. That is Trunky Wood's very first game in the REL Greenhorn tournament. I'm looking forward to this team, man. I haven't played Dark Elves in a major Eternal League in a long time. I played them in Goblin. I got the itch back, so I'm excited about it, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, the faithful 83 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Well, I have a game tonight, it's the first game of WCW, which is going to be Programmed to Kill, which is a Nurgle team. Boom. I'm not nervous, but I'm preparing myself for the slurp sound of the Beast of Nurgle, which is super fucking annoying. I might just turn sounds off. You have to wait till it gets like knocked down or something before it activates, but then it's on for the rest of the game, and it is fucking annoying. You can see I started with 3 warriors and a Pestigore, so I can have 3 rerolls. I think starting with 3 rerolls is absolutely critical to a team that starts with no block. You see them. It's more common for people to go with 4 warriors and 2 rerolls. I don't know how they do that. I want my 3 rerolls when I have no block. That is Trunkywood versus Russian Rednecks, game 1 of the Greenhorn tournament, man. Looking forward to the rest of the tournament. If you are on the REL, please make sure you go sign up a second time. I know you already signed up. You have to go through and say you read the rule. Go to your sign up and hit yes, I read the rules. There's 109 coaches signed up, which is just massive. I don't know how in the world they expect 109 coaches to understand that, but do it. Thank you for watching, guys. See you.